Jeff Horn stands on the verge of a huge fight with Terence Crawford in 2018 after stopping Gary Corcoran in the first defense of his WBO welterweight title in Brisbane on Wednesday night. Corcoran gave Horn some nervous moments in the early rounds before Horn wore him down after the end of the sixth round, eventually winning via technical knockout as Corcoran's corner raised the white flag early in round 11. Horn remains undefeated, 18-0-1. As a professional and looked lethargic at times before finding his feet in the late stages. He was able to find a crisp finish as Corcoran did his utmost to turn it into a brawl, but was by far the more powerful fighter the deeper the bout went. "I was just getting my timing right. I managed to get him out of there in the end," Horn said as top-rank Supremo Bob Arum sat ringside. And on the prospect of Crawford, the pound-for-pound dynamo from Nebraska, "If that's what everyone wants to see, then I guess that's what's going to happen." A date has already been booked for Horn Crawford in Las Vegas in April should a deal be done. It would be one of the biggest fights ever involving an Australian and make Brisbane-based Horn a pretty penny. Horn controlled centre ring from the start of the first round, with Corcoran's go-forward style not immediately apparent. It was a confident start from the champion, who looked sharp and aggressive, while Corcoran was clearly wary of Horn's power. Corcoran was caught with a heavy right during a clinch at the start of the second, but was feeling the need to up his work rate. It helped his cause, with the Brit fighting in closer and starting to turn it into the brawl he promised. Horn had some early rounds under his belt and wanted to box a little more in the third, trying to keep Corcoran at a better range. Both were warned for holding by referee Benji Estevez Jr., but the challenger finished strongly. Horn had a fight on his hands. It was turning into a scrappy slugfest, exactly what Horn did need. The champion looked flat in the fourth and the crowd was starting to get worried as Corcoran began to take control of the fight, connecting with his jab and overhand right. Corcoran was doing a good job avoiding Horn's lead right, but ate a pair of uppercuts in the fifth. Horn was doing a better job of keeping his distance and looked more composed before ending up trading shots late to suffer some punishment. A crisp left set Horn back on his heels and the champion started to bleed above his left eye. Blood began to trickle down his face and Corcoran had some issues of his own, with blood appearing over his eye towards the end of the round. This was a brutal affair, just as Corcoran had promised. Horn needed to dig deep at the beginning of the seventh and find a way to land some decisive shots to bank with the judges. He did just that, with the right landing sweetly on numerous occasions, while Corcoran's best punch was after the bell, earning his a swift warning. Horn was warming into his work in round 8, getting away first and having Corcoran backing up towards the corners to take the round and give him some breathing space heading into 9. Corcoran may have sensed some urgency in the 9th.